can create some magic. If I just so from here I can just go emit from object, surface, hit create, okay, create. So it's my geo connector, here's my emitter, that's my particles. Okay, let's colour. Now this one I quite a dark colour, and I'm just going to up the scale a bit, scale rate by object size, try that. Okay, now if I hit play, you'll see that I've created a whole lot of particles that are falling from the edges. So you can kind of see the edges, but just to kind of show you a little bit easier, make them yellow so you can actually see them. I'm going to hide the actual edges themselves, so now you can see where the particles have been emitted from. We can add additional edges to this component set group if we want to. But I'm going to do keyframe the emitter, so I'm going to go up to 500, set a frame, keyframe, and then 20, just drop it down to 0, and just going to hide my display component, push play. And I'm not getting anything there, so it looks like I did something wrong with the emitter. I think that's right. Should be on 500. There we go. Not quite sure what happened there. But anyway, I'm going to it just seems to be every time I create a node, it just seems to get further and further away from my working space. And it's really annoying. So I don't know why. Anyway, so I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I don't need any more. So let's push play. And if I just stop there, okay, so sure enough the particles are working. I'm just going to select them and add some gravity. Gravity to them. No, that's wrong. Okay, to my particles, select my particles, try that again. The gravity, and I'm just going to increase the gravity to 98 to match the nucleus one. And then I'm also going to make them collide with the floor. So make collide, the resilience and friction, increase the friction a bit, and make a little bit of a bounce. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Going to start again. Okay, so our particles don't seem to be falling. So let's go to the relationship editor and have a look, see what's going on here. I think the particle, okay, so it wasn't connected. Fancy that. Let's try that again. Alright, this time. So we've got some particle emission. And you can't really see much on the ground there, but if we kind of come in closer here, do it from this angle instead. So you see our particles starting to form around the cracks now, instead of just the points. And in fact, we've got some coming down here as well, dropping down here, but I'm going to increase the scar rate, the rate by, go to 1000, and let's try this. Here we go, so we get some dust and small debris falling from these cracks here. And if I just go back into my display component and have a look, and then go into back into my edit geo, because I want to just add a few more. So I go into my group node and push edit. I get my little edit group up here again, and then I click on my edit group geo, and then just go into edge mode. And then if I start selecting some edges here and add them, go over to here, add, drag, shift, add, 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 some down there on some debris there, add, keep adding until you're happy. So add, just keep adding. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Doesn't need to be too much there. It's just a tutorial. And so I'm just going to close that now. Okay, I'm going to hide my edit geo group. Go into object mode. Hide that. Hide my component list. My display components. And push play again. And I'm just going to go back into my emitter again, just quickly, and I'm going to increase that to 1200, and then the time I'm going to go to 30, make that 0. So that should be the last tweak. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'm liking it. I've got some nice follow through my particles there. Okay, so that's the particle part, and the fluid part's pretty easy too. So fluid part just means grabbing my edges. So I'm going to change it to my edge emitter shape. Okay, and if I just go into my fluids, I'm going to create a 3D fluid, scale it up. Okay, just middle mouse drag that up, lift it up. No, that's not going to do it for me. Just middle mouse drag that up then. Just scale it back down a little bit, like so. That's good enough for me. Just make sure it covers the entire effect that I'm after. And then I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to play around. I'm going to get rid of that emitter. I'm going to get the fluid there. And I'm just going to play around with some settings here. So I'm going to take it up to 100 and change the boundary to negative Y side. Scroll down. Display, I'm just going to turn off. So none, so you can't see the outline of it. And then I'm just going to go in here and increase the buoyancy just a little bit. Scale just up to 1. Dissipation 0.1. Velocity up the swirl. Go down to shading quality, make it smooth. Shading, I'm just going to leave it as is. Lighting, self shadow, take it up to 1. And I think it's pretty much done on the fluid. So if I come into here and I select my fluid, then I select my emitter shape, and then I go into fluids and emit from object. It's going to be a surface emitter, and click apply and close. And now we're going to get some fluid emitting from our edges. So if I just hold that, so we know it's working, so that's good. Just go into our fluid emitter shape and we can reduce some of the stuff. So I'm just going to take that down to 50, and then I'll just take that down to 1. Take that back up to 100, and then down the bottom here I'm going to speed emission, add, and here at velocity I'm going to take up to about 4, and that's probably about it. So I'm just going to save that, and then I'm going to hit I'm going to hide some of these, the nucleus, so I'll hide that. Okay, so I'll push play now, go back to frame 1, hit play. So our ceiling cracks, we get some smoke and debris form. Everything starts to get sucked in. So obviously I'm going to need to keyframe the fluid emission as well. So I'm just going to stop that. Okay, so it's working. And I reckon I've probably got a little bit too much emission there, or we could just drop down the opacity of our fluid. So I'm just going to do that. So I go into shading, increase the transparency a bit, out there, and I'm just going to keyframe the emission on my fluid emitter. So from 1 just set a keyframe, and then up to probably say 30. I'm going to drop it down to 0. Okay. I think that's it. So I'm going to run a play blast. set up a blade bust and get back to you with the result. So guys, this is the blade blast of the setup, and so I've got some emission from the surface emission from the edges. I actually ended up applying it texture rate, so I've got a noise texture on the emitter itself. I'll just show you that in case you don't know. So on the emitter, you go down to the bottom, you can turn on texture rate and put a noise texture in there and enable texture rate toggle there, and so that kind of randomizes the emission. I put a little expression time on the noise. If I click on there, I've just got time equals time on there, so it'll change the noise. So the emission's not so even, and of course the nCloth itself is emitting velocity into the fluid, so you're creating these little swirly bits and forces pushing the fluid around. And that's pretty much it. I'm not 100% happy with the constraint stuff happening down here. I tried to get rid of the blocks kind of sticking together by adding another negative weight down the bottom, but it doesn't seem to have much effect, and we've got a little bit of sliding here as well, so that probably needs more work. But that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it. If you've got any questions, just jump on the forum and we'll be happy to help you there, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks.